hate those dots.
Hello and welcome again to Summit Live. This is our weekly live stream brought to you by Summit International Flooring at our headquarters in Whippany, New Jersey. We are broadcasting live on our website, on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. We hope you tune in weekly at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. We have a very special show today. We are honored to have award-winning designer Vanessa Deleon of VDA Design in Edgewater, New Jersey with us. She'll be joining us shortly. Vanessa has been published in Architectural Digest, in Cosmopolitan, many others. She's a regular on HGTV, and she is the star, or one of the stars, of Food Network's Restaurant Impossible. Co-hosting today is Alan Smith. Hello, Alan.
Hello.
Alan is our Market Development Manager based in New York, and he is joining me today as we welcome in Vanessa. Vanessa, are you there?
Hi guys, I'm
Hey,
here.
Vanessa.
Let
Hello,
me fix
Vanessa.
my hair.
Oh,
How
you
you
look
doing?
beautiful. You look beautiful. It's great to see you. Thank you for joining us on this program. And we do have some questions. We're going to pick your brain. I'm going to let Alan start right off the bat.
Yeah, well, Vanessa, we have a lot that we want to talk to you about because we value your insight. But I think the biggest question everybody has right now is how has your approach to design changed post or while we're in this pandemic?
So I have to, first of all, guys, thank you so much. And I appreciate you considering me to be on your show. I'm honored. It's definitely a weird and strange time. I have to say we tried in the beginning to sort of pivot our business to be a little bit more virtual because unfortunately we weren't having on-site meetings and FaceTime meetings, and meeting new clients was challenging. But fortunate for us, we already had that platform sort of set up because we have a virtual service through our firm, and we've offered virtual interior design about 10 years ago. So that definitely ramped up. So, I think how we should all sort of treat this now, well, now that a few states are open and able to engage now, I think that hasn't been an issue. But in the beginning, it was. I mean, thankfully, in our time, we have Zooms, we have all these platforms that we can socialize and have this back and forth interview and banter and have these clients just jump on a FaceTime, jump on a Zoom, and it's so easy for us to do now because of technology. But it's definitely I never had to show fabrics or textures through a phone before or through my laptop. And in our business, it's very tactile. We need to touch things. We need to feel it. We need to see it, how it looks with other colors, how it plays with the space. And in design, it's very difficult to do that virtually. And I know for my
nearly
staff,
impossible.
Right. And for my staff, it was really hard running the business. I mean, thankfully, everyone did their part and was at home and was safe and was working from home. But there was a point that I was like pulling my hair because there's so much of the on-home, virtual world that we can live in. We as designers need to feel and touch things and see samples and have things in hand to compare through other colors and et cetera. And you can't do that through a FaceTime or these type of meetings.
Right. And not only that, when you look at something online, you're looking through a computer screen that's got a certain setting, and the color is never going to be what the color actually is.
Right.
So it's very difficult, but we're all forced to do this because we live in a very strange world, and
for sure. And I think that's important. And I think it's also important, like, manufacturers, vendors like yourselves to have these samples readily available for us and being able to ship it out to our clients, at a drop of a dime. I think it's important, especially now in these times, because people want to see things yesterday and they want to have things in hand. So I think that the fact that I can pick up a call, pick up the phone, Alan, at any time and say, I need this sent to somewhere, that can be done, pretty efficiently. I think for us, it's a win-win because then you have the products are there. And we do like this, what we call design in a box, is that we box everything up sample-wise and we ship that out. But we need to be here in the studio to have our samples to pull from. So that's the challenging part of all this, or had been the challenging part.
It's interesting. We're more than willing and able to send out sample packages. We understand seeing people now is just not in the cards.
Right.
It's so we're UPSing and FedExing samples on a daily basis, and we're happy to do that.
Right.
Yeah, Vanessa, does your are you choosing different materials now too because of the pandemic, or is it pretty
You
much
know,
the same?
I haven't gotten there yet. No one has been really concerned with having, materials that, I don't know, that are non-COVID or flu resistant. I don't think they've developed that technology-wise yet. I know there's coatings that they put on top of things that could be resistant to, or the percentage of, flu-like bacteria that you can get on your hands. But I don't think they've really developed that just yet. I think we're all being really cognizant of how we're designing. I know like front areas of the homes now have little stands where you have your antibacterial soap. I mean, here in the office, we have a little rolling cart that we have right in front of the office door that has sanitizer, a thermometer, and right there, actually to the left, that's the time. So we have the thermometer, the antibacterial soap, and we even have a little a little sign-in sheet with your name that you put your temperature on. So
Yeah, it's
I,
a
I think
crazy world.
homes are going to also shift in that direction too.
Oh,
If you're
sure.
a nanny or your cleaning lady or guests, you want to be mindful. You kind of want to track.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, you're back, Vanessa. Now, this is one of the things
Yep,
that
I'm
I've
here.
always. There you are. I was so worried about this because when you do a live stream, you don't know what's going to happen if the Wi-Fi
Yes, yes, yes.
kicks out. If there's a storm. Last week there was a hurricane that
And
passed right through
we
us.
had massive storm. Yep.
Yeah. Listen, one thing I have to do, and I do this every week, and I forgot to do it, and I know you're a dog lover. I need to introduce to the viewing audience our mascot, my boy. He's with us all the time. He loves this. He loves the show. His name is Rocco. He is
Rocco's so cute.
yeah, he's a cutie, and he's a rescue, and he's there every week. And I just wanted to introduce him to the world. And I know you're a dog lover. You
I
have dogs
am.
yourself, so I
Yes.
had to get that out of the way. So we
I
have a
actually
question.
had them here for the interview, and then they started barking. I'm like, we can't have this.
Oh no, it would have
because they
been
want to
fine
be
for
involved,
them.
They're
right?
not
Yeah.
as calm as Rocco.
Rocco is practically a stuffed animal, quite honestly. He really doesn't move too much. So now let's get into a question. There's a word that you describe your design with. It's called glamalistic. Tell us what that is.
So Glamalistic is a fusion of glamour and minimalism. It's a 1920s meets 2020, which is so weird because I've been saying that for over 15 years.
And now it's
And now we're in 2020. So I'm like, I got to make something else up that looks much more foreign from here. So we're in it. So it's a fusion of minimal furniture, glamorous details, a little bit of glam meets minimal. It could be straight furniture, very simple, but then an ornate chandelier. It can be a whimsical chair with a glamorous table with very simple parts and leg chairs. That's in the dental office actually we just did. So it has that nod to minimalism, but it has also the flair of glam, which this is very glam actually. This one here.
Right. Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
beautiful salon we did in Wayne, New Jersey.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean that's my personal style. I think when people ask me, "Oh, what's your design sensibility?" I say glamalistic, and they're like, "Oh, what's that?"
Well, I
So
mean,
that's
you're
that's
you're yeah, you're a social media influencer, you're a trendsetter. So I know people, especially those who are familiar with Glamalistic, right, that follow you,
yeah,
they must reach out to you and ask you for advice, what trends you think are coming.
yeah.
What are like the most common kind of contacts and response and questions that you get from people on social media?
I think more in social media, it's where is this wallpaper from? Or where is this bedding from? Or what's that artwork? Like you see things like that are very splashy on the page and they just
Yeah.
want to know the manufacturer. I'm like, you can all get it through me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so that's always my answer. But I think that what they reach out to me more about is, I have a small apartment in the city and I need a bed and I need a sofa at the same time. And I'm like, oh, Murphy bed. I mean, things like that. It's more like, they have these issues and how do they solve it?
Yeah.
And then the most questions we get asked are things in the picture, are they for sale? And I said, yes, everything through Vanessa Deleon Associates.
Yeah, well, I mean, so much of your work, you use the word whimsical.
Yeah.
That was exactly the word I was talking to my wife recently, trying to explain your work, and I was like, it's kind of whimsical,
Yeah.
but it's also classy at the same
Right.
time. It's refined.
Yes.
So, like, does that come from? I guess a better way to put it is your inspiration emotional? Does it come from an emotional place? Is it philosophical
So
nature?
I think my design aesthetic really comes from my heritage. My grandparents came from Cuba, and I've never been, and I've only seen pictures. And obviously, I have tons of coffee table books, and I'm so inspired by that era. And
Yeah,
before the revolution, when my grandparents came here in 1962, it was a glamorous little island. It was the
Sure.
Hollywood of the Caribbean. And it was very colorful and very playful, but yet classy at the same time. And I feel like that's very much my aesthetic. And I am inspired by my Cuban roots, and I think that you'll see that through and through. But still, I like to keep it classic and timeless. So I can post a picture that I did 18 years ago on my Instagram, which I did the other day, one project that was 15 years old, and it still looks so current. And I think
R-
in design, you should be current unless you're doing a very themed department and they're moving in next, moving out next year. That's fine. But
sure.
I like to keep it very classic and very much forever.
Understood. Listen, I got a question for you. With everything that's going on with COVID, there's a exodus out of some of the major cities. Are you affected by that in any way, or is it helping your business by people
So
that live in the
there
suburbs?
is, there absolutely is in Manhattan. I think everybody's moving out of the city, um, and a lot of my clients who are city goers, city lovers, and they're residents there, they're moving out to their summer homes. They're moving out into the Hamptons, down the shore. They're moving to the burbs. They're moving to New Jersey. They're moving to Connecticut, Long Island, parts of Long Island. And I think that they're calling me to redo their homes because there were their
Yeah,
summer homes, and there were homes that they didn't really care for much because they spend most of their time in the city and a couple of months in the summer. And now it's their main. So we are getting calls on rehab. A lot of rehab projects are coming our way.
Yeah, yeah. From what we understand and what we're involved with, there's a whole lot less commercial going on, and certainly a whole lot less in the major cities, and people are renovating their
yeah,
homes and their home offices.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you've been crossing over to commercial for some time now and doing
Yeah.
more of that. And so I guess from a design standpoint, does that change how you approach it? Or I think we lost Vanessa again for a second.
Vanessa,
I'm here. I'm
You're
here.
here?
I'm
okay,
Okay.
here.
we
Yep.
hear you, but we do not
We hear
see
you, but we
you.
can't see you. Okay.
Okay, well, we'll go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we can go audio for a minute, unless you want to refresh your page and see if that does the trick.
Yeah,
But this is
the
what
joys
happens.
of the joys of live streaming.
It is, yeah. Well, one day we'll upgrade to like a Starlink, Elon Musk satellite system,
Yeah,
and then we'll be
maybe,
good to
maybe.
go. Yeah.
Vanessa, we don't even know if you're there right now,
But I know we can talk about the fact that gyms are a big discussion, home gyms.
absolutely.
Because people can't get to regular gyms.
That's great. You can't work out in commercial gyms. You only have your home, or you're running around outside. And I've even seen people running around in masks. How they do that, I don't know, but they are doing that.
Yes, that's
And,
that's
yeah,
commitment.
and it's a very difficult time for,
Yeah.
for many businesses. Restaurants, of course, so people are eating home and much more.
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe they're venturing out and they're eating outdoors. But it's a very difficult time in the world, and everybody has to adjust, and Vanessa has to adjust her business too. Vanessa is not back as of now, as far as I know. Nope, I see black screen. But this is what happens
All right.
sometimes.
Vanessa, can you hear us?
Okay.
Nope. All right.
She's probably refreshing, or
Hopefully she's refreshing her
maybe
page.
she's dealing with the
Yeah.
dogs.
But so here, let me just change this here, so we can see ourselves there. Okay. So I think also what I understand is that office spaces have reduced or planning on reducing occupancy by about roughly 50%.
Wow.
So they know now that people can work from home,
Yeah.
and they don't
Yeah,
need to
there's no
necessarily
question.
come in.
You know what? I heard a little chirp, but it's my best guess that Vanessa is almost on. No, she's not.
Nope.
Well, anyway, we have been talking to Vanessa Deleon.
Deleon, yes, she's
Yeah,
fantastic. Mark
VDA
can put up
design.
some images in the meantime.
You know, we were really looking forward to having her. Wait,
Oh,
is she back?
okay, we've got her back now.
I'm
All
here.
right.
I'm here.
Hey, hey, hey.
All right. Well, welcome back. This is
Hi.
nothing. It's always fun to have to fill time, and when you're not expecting it.
I had to go do my hair. I apologize.
Yeah,
Well, you did a great job.
it's
You're very
amazing. It's
quick.
so different. I love it.
Now, where were we?
Well, actually, I was curious about how you applied your design approach from residential
Commercial.
to commercial. Yeah, does it change?
Yeah, so we have been doing, I think it's 50-50 commercial and residential. So yeah, I mean we've done a few gyms, right? We did a few gyms right before the pandemic that are now actually taking a break, but now back by personal sort of like one-on-one, so to speak, which that's been very difficult for them. And we're still doing commercial work. We're doing a salon, we're doing a hair salon, a nail salon currently, not this one, but another one. So the businesses are there and they're still coming, but there's just delays now considering everything. But I love the two. I love both. I love that I can have complete control of
Yeah.
my design aesthetic with commercial. With residential, you have to be more involved with the homeowner because really they're living there every single day. With a commercial space, they're kind of give you carte blanche. We're doing a cigar bar, a cigar lounge now, and you know they let me do my thing. They just like, this is what we want. We want it to look cool. Go ahead. You know, so there's a lot less hand holding.
Yeah.
A lot less headaches with that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be presumptuous of me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like you have a nice sort of balance between a little bit of masculine and feminine
Yes.
in your work. Is that
Yes.
right to say?
Yes, it's 100%, and I always make sure of that. So I actually like this strong, bold colors. I love black. I love the blues. I think black's very sexy in any sort of aesthetic. I also think that playing in some femininity, but still having you're kind of teetering on the edge of both, masculine and feminine. I think that balance is so, how you strike it has to be so delicate, but
Yeah.
when you strike it, you can tell, and that's a
I was-
real well-designed space.
I was actually going to ask you about color trends. Do you see a trend forming now, or are you involved switching over your normal color palette, if there is such a thing as a normal color
Yeah,
palette?
absolutely. So we're definitely seeing and going to be seeing in the next year or so a lot more back to basics, back to neutrals. You're going to see a lot more beige, browns, creams, tones. The nature of colors and sort of that organic feel is kind of coming back into vogue, which is really nice to see.
Yeah. Is that a psychological thing that people want just like a more clean kind of
Maybe,
feel? Or?
you know what? I think it's kind of serendipitous how it happened because I started seeing this trend in the beginning of the year. I obviously attend all trade shows. I'm very mindful of the new, what's new, what's next. And I have been seeing that curve a little bit. I think people are tired of the white and grays. I mean, we've kind of played that out for a little bit now. So it's time for something fresh and new. And I feel like, the complements of the mixed metals is still very much in vogue, and that paired with some browns and some neutral palettes and some creams, it's gonna really be the next. You're gonna see that as a new trend.
All right, listen, we need to be a little bit self-serving, just for a quick
You're
question
reading
here.
my mind.
I have to do this. I have to do this before we lose you again. You had a very interesting installation at your own home where you installed one of our faux grass products
Yep.
on well, it's actually this. It's an interlocking tile.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Mark is working the board today. I'm pretty sure Mark can find that picture. Tell us a little bit about it. There it is, right there. That's you on a photo shoot.
Yep.
And you were standing on our interlocking grass product.
Yes. So what I wanted for my rooftop is to feel like it was a Zen oasis. I didn't want to do the cold tile. I didn't want to do Trex. I didn't want to do kind of the standard that people put on their rooftops. I wanted to feel like it was really an oasis. And if you wanted to have a picnic, which we're doing nowadays more than usual, have a picnic and throw down a blanket and have that feel of grass, but not look like, turf like you would see like at, I don't know, like at some playgrounds. it really does look like grass and it's artificial, but it has a little bit of like the green plus a little bit of burnt underneath, so it looks like it's real. The fact that it's on my roof, on a flat roof, that I was always so scared of having a flat roof.
Right.
The draining system underneath that is notched out, if you want to show kind of the profile of that or the elevation of that, is amazing because the water seeps right through that and kind of drains out into the ends of the house. So I've never
Well,
had problems with it. Go
it's
ahead.
gorgeous. I have to tell you, your design was absolutely gorgeous, and we're so honored that you have chosen our product for that and for other areas in your
Yeah.
home and other
And I
clients.
definitely have to take a moment to shout out to Bobby. I love Bobby. Thank you, Bobby.
She's here in the background.
Hey, Bobby.
They're giving you a shout out, Bobby. Oh,
Yes, your staff is wonderful. And Vanessa, we'd like to take this time right now to say thank you for joining us today. You're a pleasure to work with. Your
thank
work
you,
is
guys.
fabulous, and it was a real honor for us to have you on with us.
Yeah, Vanessa, where can people find out more about you, and where would you like them to go?
Yeah, I think the best way is through Instagram, VDA underscore designs. And obviously my name, Vanessa Deleon, you can find me right on the web, Google, all that jazz. You'll see me on some searches.
All right. Thank you.
Moving forward, if anyone has any questions for Summit, you could reach us at info@summit-flooring.com, or you could call us at our toll-free number, which is 877-496-3566. I'd like to again thank you, and next week we have another great show. We have Hella Hotshot of Gensler in Los Angeles joining us. She is the head librarian and designer at Gensler, and we look forward to her joining us and providing her insight as to what's going on in the world of commercial interior design.
Very valuable.
We love
Vanessa,
Gensler.
thank you again so much.
Thank you,
Vanessa?
guys. It's such a pleasure working with you and having me on. I really
Yes, you too.
appreciate the time.
Well, thank you, and we'll talk to you very soon, we hope.
Bye, guys. For sure. Stay safe.
All right,
too.
You too.
Bye, Rocco.
Rocco's